Power Player 76,000 in one. This is the most amazing game console I've ever seen in my life. Not just because it's 76,001. Look at this marvel. Look, right here we have Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi fighting Darth Maul. We're going to go ahead and take a look at it. I can't even believe that this is in what amounts to be some type of Nintendo knockoff console. Jesus Christ, am I going to get demonetized for this thing? Basically a Nintendo 64 ripoff, except for the fact that it has a place where you can put the cartridges in, battery pack. And you can plug in a Sega Genesis controller on top of it. Yeah, there's a few differences here. This is completely aesthetic. Does not even work! Why did they move the start and select buttons to the center? It's a Super Joy, folks. Super Joy. This is a beautiful, fine piece of garbage. There's obviously no shoulder buttons because stuff. That's the long and the short of the core console. Oh boy, a really, really crappy Sega Genesis controller with what amounts to be a joystick with nothing inside the center of it. Why? Seriously, why? Why would you not just keep it a D-pad? How do you f*** up a Sega Genesis controller so bad? How do you f*** up an N64 controller so bad? But they did. I can't wait to play my TV game Super Power Joy 76,001. So I'll see you guys in the basement where we're going to test this bad boy out. Yeah, so the first thing I want to note about this is that the start button on the N64 controller, where the start button would be on an original N64 controller, actually resets it. So this is really going to throw you off if you're used to something like that. But it does have regular ROMs for an NES, which is not a surprise whatsoever. They work very, very well. For example, Contra here is running quite well. It ran better than I expected. I mean, the joystick doesn't even actually do anything on the controller. So the D-pad works, but oftentimes I find it pushing upward when it's not supposed to do that, and that's a telltale sign of a very, very cheap controller. At the end of the day, it runs well, it works well, it's playable, but not what you would want to play Contra on. This is a very strange game where I just started throwing boomerangs. I'm not really sure why. I have no idea about this game. The game system didn't come with a manual or anything, so yeah, that's the game. Then there was soccer. I don't have much to say about soccer, but it's soccer. Yay! This one being the King of Fighters. Yeah, I don't really remember this part from King of Fighters. In fact, the graphics look amazingly bad in comparison to what King of Fighters usually looks like. Yeah, this isn't King of Fighters. I hope you figured that out by now. Japanese Famicom games that are put on here, they run, they work just like they would normally. I wanted to put a little bit of a focus on Super Mario Brothers here because here's really where you can tell how different this is from a normal ROM and emulator. The color palette is completely off. Mario is kind of like a pea green instead of what he's supposed to be. Mario doesn't look like that, and also the controls are not the greatest. If you continue on, you can kind of see that there's a lot of games on here that are essentially worthless throwaway games. They don't do anything for the system itself. Yeah, they run, like this is 1942, and again, it's just a flawless emulated kind of 1942 game. It's just a bunch of games somebody threw on a bootleg N64 controller. Ah, but that gun, you say, does the gun actually work? After a little bit of finagling, I actually got it to register my shots. Now, unfortunately, it's a flat screen TV that I'm using, so it didn't work the way I wanted it to work, but it is registering and picking up the shots as you can see on the screen. So I'm actually quite astounded by that. So finally, you might be asking yourself, well, Proto, what about that big sticker that said 76,000 in one? Is that actually true? And yeah, if you look, while I'm going through the game list, you can clearly see that there are 76,000 games. Now this is the part where you probably become extremely disinterested because you've probably figured out that the 76,000 games are just clones of about 50 to 60 other games. Good Lord knows how many games are actually on here, but there are some really nice games. As aforementioned, Contra's on here, Super Mario. You can find games like Pac-Man, 1942, and if you're okay with that, then this is a decent buy for, well, at least for me, for $5. There's not much else to say about this other than holy crap. I cannot believe that it actually, one, turned on without new batteries in it, 2, played some of the games and played them well, and 3, the gun actually worked. And it has multiplayer because you can plug the Sega Genesis controller into the N64 controller and get some kind of weird daisy chaining going on. 76,001 reviewed by yours truly, Protomario. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave me a big like. If you did not like it, you can leave me a thumbs down, tell me what I can do better in the future. And I've been your host, and I'm signing out. Please click that subscribe button because I often do reviews like this on Saturdays, and I would love to see you back here the next time I do one. I'll see you guys in the next video, and as always, good gaming, God bless, and thanks for watching.